So welcome everybody. Thanks for making it. This is my fourth program here, so our respects to Srila Prabhupada and to all of you. I'm from a small industrial town near Zurich, Switzerland. I met the mantra in my boarding school in the Swiss Alps. I was in 9th grade. And it got me curious about what is this singing and chanting, what can be about the great mystery of these three little words. Have you ever wondered how people can keep on repeating the same three little words? It's funny, isn't it? Well, if you're in a relationship, just as a little advice, repeat the three words, the three magic words every day. What are they? Hare Krishna and Rama, exactly, which means I love you, okay? It's actually a love song. It's actually a love song because without love, without appreciation, there's no relationship. Like I'm here because I have mentors and friends like Vijay Prabhu and others. And so all that we do in life is because of relationships. If there's no relationship, why get out of bed, right? Have you ever felt like that? Come on, work with me, people. Thanks for your honesty. All right, so the first Hare Krishna program I attended, I was 15 years old. I was in 9th grade. I put on one of these bed sheets, and I felt really cool. I felt like, hey, I'm hot stuff. I'm one of the guys, you know? Like, we're going to do this thing. And we took a van, and about 8 or 9 of us with instruments and buckets and everything. We were fully armed to the teeth. We went out to a community center outside of Zurich. And what do you reckon? Guess how many people showed up? 7? Who else? 10?
0.
She said it, 0. Nobody showed up. They had the wrong date, you know? So it was miscommunication. This can happen in life, you know? Like nobody shows up. You're there by yourself. We sat out on the grass outside of the community center and we had a little picnic. We did some chanting and we had a little discussion. And we all went home happy. And I figured, man, if this is the worst day, I'm in. I'm in. If this is as bad as it gets, this is pretty good. Because sometimes stuff doesn't work out. Has it ever happened to you that stuff didn't work out in your life? Yeah, absolutely. And then you can either see it as a tragedy or you can see it as an opportunity, right? Like in the last 18 or 24 months, did your life, did your plans, did your ideas change a little bit? Yeah. Hopefully. Hopefully, right? So you can either see it as a tragedy or as an opportunity. It all depends on our vision. It all depends on how we look at things. So, as it was mentioned, I traveled a bit because somehow I had 3 very strong desires. I wanted to have a lot of friends, wanted to travel the world, and wanted to be the best at what I do. And somehow, by the chanting of these 3 little words, it took me 20 times around the world. People kept on inviting me, sending me tickets. One time I was in Uzbekistan, near Tashkent, and visited the shrine of a Sufi saint. And we were in plain clothes because it's former Soviet Union and a Muslim country now. So we went to see that shrine, amazing architecture, you know, this really awesome structure. And just the 2 of us were walking around and chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But quietly, because there's other people around. So one man, he was praying at the tomb of that saint, and after about 20 minutes, he got up and he came over to us and he said, today is a very special day. Allah has heard my prayer, and I know you're devotees of Krishna and you're chanting Allah's name. And you're sincere in your practice. And I would like to invite you to my home to have a meal with my family. And I pray to Allah that all your spiritual desires may be fulfilled. And I thought, wow, this guy's got it, you know? This guy's figured it out. It's pretty awesome. Sometimes you're in places and people look at you like you're wearing the wrong clothes, or you're in the wrong place, or you're not supposed to be here. Like, who let you in our little gated community here? Have you ever gotten that look? Have you ever had that feeling? Or is it just me? So, appreciation means that when we tune into this frequency, this spiritual sound vibration, we can recognize the bass line, the theme. You know, in music, there's a bass line. If you know the bass line or the theme, you can play any instrument, and you can tune into that frequency. So what is the bass line? The bass line is appreciation. Every living entity has this appreciating capacity. So, and we're developing it more and more through this bhakti practice. I was up in Rishikesh with a group of friends. We used to go up there yearly with about a dozen of us, and just chanting and dancing. For those of you who haven't been, how many of you have been to Rishikesh? Those of you who haven't, it's on the foothills of the Himalayas just before it gets really steep, before it really goes up. And the Ganges comes down and is really pristine clear. You can drink it. You can see through it. It's so clear. And there's two main bridges. Correct. 2 points for the gentleman in the front here. If you got 3 points, you get another cup of tea. But you already had 3, right? Okay. No worries. We'll give you another one. Unlimited supply today. So we were just chanting at the landing of those. These were not like big bridges. They were like pontoon bridges. You know, you can just, 2 people can just pass by each other, but no vehicles can go. So we were chanting just at the landing of the bridge, and we were just stopping the whole traffic. It just became a whole ruckus, a whole circus. And here, what happens if you obstruct traffic? Have you ever obstructed traffic because it took you a while to get your luggage out of a vehicle or something? What happens? Honk, honk, right? People start screaming and yelling. But this, because it's India and it's Rishikesh, people saw that this is just hopeless. They just got out of their scooters and out of their vehicles, and they just came over, and they just joined into the chanting. They just said, what the heck, you know? If you can't beat them, you got to join them, right? So, and we're just chanting and dancing there, having a good time, getting everybody involved. And there was one beggar. Now, I don't know about you, but whenever you drive by the red light and you see a person there with a sign that says, you know, I'm hungry, I need food or help or money or anything helps, God bless, you have that feeling, right, of like, okay, I should give something. Or I can look the other way, or I can pretend that the person's not there, right? There's different things that you can do. So, as a professional beggar, which means he wasn't destitute, it was just, it's his job. So he was sitting nearby on the steps, just below German Bakery, and he had his cup there, and he was sitting and watching us. And about 10, 15 minutes, he kind of got tired, he kind of got bored with being a beggar. So he picked up his cup and put it in his pocket. And he came over and he joined the dancing. And after a while, he danced so exuberantly and so ecstatically that he forgot that he was a beggar. And after a little moment after that, he reached into his pocket and he pulled out a wad of 10 rupee notes. It's like $1 bills. And he showed it to everybody. And he started putting money into the pockets of all the participants. And he was showing everybody, I'm not a beggar. I'm a generous person. So if you want to give somebody the greatest gift, give them the feeling that they're actually generous, that they actually have something that's of value. That is empowerment. So we have been gifted this mantra, and my humble request is you take this mantra and you try it out for yourself. sometimes with musical arrangements, and sometimes it might just be you in your bathroom or in your bedroom chanting and dancing, jumping up and down, going Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Next time you're stuck in LA traffic, you got the choice. You can either make sign language to the people who cut you off, or you can go Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I mean, the choice is ours, right? Tragedy or opportunity. So that little bit of free will, that little bit of independence is given to every living entity. So how to repose, how to use that free will in the proper way, that is a science. And for that, there's over 80 books that have been written, and there's a practice to it. Yet, work with the baseline, work with the mantra. What does it mean? I love you. I love you, I love life, I love the source of life, I love every living entity. And I would like to be part of the solution rather than part of the problem. So I'm very grateful to be here amongst all of you. I saw there's been some huge arrangement for making wonderful delicacies, and we'll have that in a minute. I would like to ask you to take this mantra and apply it to your life. Just make the experiment. You can do the 21-day challenge, okay? And since it's New Year, so might as well start with some New Year's resolutions. You're here in San Diego, which means you've pretty much already been in a few places and tried a few things in life. So why not try this mantra? You got nothing to lose, right? Plus it's free. And if you like it, keep using it, and you'll see how it will take you. It will take you to many places. It will bring you in very interesting situations where you'll be surprised how the mantra will come back to you and will enhance the quality of your life. That's how I felt, and that's how I still feel. That's what gets me out of bed. That's what keeps me up at night. Do you sometimes have bad dreams? Does it ever happen to you? Yeah? Can happen to anybody, right? So, you can use this mantra, this chant. It's a universal mantra. It includes all the traditions, all the spiritual practices. That's why it's called the Maha Mantra, the great mantra, the great chant. And you will feel connected. You will feel, I'm at home. It's like when you eat your mom's cooking, you know. It feels right, doesn't it? It feels like, yeah, this is good stuff. This works. And depending on our appreciation capacity, the value, the meaning, the depth will increase. It will appreciate. So we have got that potential in us. Turn to the person next to you and say something nice to them. Just appreciate them. And now return the favor, okay? Don't just make it one-sided. Both do it. Okay, stop doing that. That felt terrible, right? It felt really awful, isn't it? Right? So as an experiment, just for the coming week, try to appreciate 3 people. It's not so difficult. I was just talking to my daughter. She's 19 and a half years old. She's in Mayapur in India. And she's working hard she's a nursery nurse. She teaches preschool. I call it monkey fighting. It is all nationalities, it's all cultures, it's all backgrounds. She got the whole bunch of them. Many don't speak English. They just ended up there. So, and I was just appreciating how she's spending her life there taking care of kids. Some people from the city, they went out to the village, And because they're city people, so they're very result-oriented, so they wanted to know. So they asked a bunch of questions. They said, so any famous people born here? They said, no. Any wealthy people born here? No. Any people who ever accomplished or did something great born here? They said, no. So the city people asked, so what kind of people are born here? And the villagers said, only babies are born here. So we all start out that way. From the moment you're born till the moment you croak, it's all by sound vibration. So if we learn to use sound vibration in a kind, in a benevolent, in a conscious, in an appreciative way, the world will be at your fingertips. People will eat out of your hand. I go to farmers markets because there's some discerning people there for the most part. And usually I don't do the shoppers. I usually deal more with the people who have the farm stands. And I walk there and I just appreciate them. I just tell them, did you grow all this? I mean, that's amazing. And the answer I usually get is, oh, you're a monk? You take whatever you want. There's plenty for everybody. There is no scarcity in the universe because Mother Earth is abundant. She has given us everything. So if we learn this love language of chanting this mantra and getting in tune with everybody, even though they may be from a different tradition, they may have a different worldview, they may have a different opinion on things, but we can agree on something. That we all appreciate life and the source of life, and wherever there is divinity. So there's many translations to this mantra. Some are very esoteric, some are very philosophical, some are from linguistic perspective. But what I'm really interested to know is what drives you? What's your purpose? What makes you you? That means realization. Because without realization, it just stays information. But you need application. Otherwise, there's no realization and no transformation. We want to have some life-transforming experiences. So this happens. It can be a gradual process. It can also happen instantaneously, that you're in a situation where you just feel like something hit me and struck a chord. It resonated with me. And yes, I would like to pursue this. So yoga means to connect, body, mind, and spirit. We connect through sound vibration. The whole universe was created by sound and will be destroyed by sound. So learn how to use sound energy in a conscious, in an appreciative, in a benevolent way, and you will see miracles. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Any questions, or do we have time? I don't know how we...
ask, but or any reflections or comments? Yeah.
So you left the monkhood to return to the material world? that came out in a wrong way. But are you currently living a monastic lifestyle, or what is your current lifestyle?
Yes, I'm currently living a monastic lifestyle. In the Vedic or the yogic tradition, there are 4 stages of life. So the first stage is brahmacharya, or student life. Then there's married life. Then there's retired life. And then there's renounced life. So it goes in stages. So I'm already in the 3rd phase. I have 3 children that are grown, all working jobs. So I'm, again, doing what I used to be doing for the first 15 years of my life, traveling and teaching and trying to share the message with others.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
You're welcome. Other questions or reflections? In case you were wondering, there's going to be vegan sushi and what else? Fried cauliflower. Okay. All right. Just in case you were curious, all right? Yes.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for sharing your experience. Just wanted to know, what is the process or way of appreciation? There are many ways to appreciate, but what is the most practical and better way to appreciate?
It depends on the person and on the situation. Sometimes people just want to be acknowledged. They just want to be validated. Like kids, they don't want more stuff. They don't want money and all that. They want quality time. That means you have to actually be there, listen to them, and take them seriously. You know why we have so much psychological disease and so much mental health issues and so much suicide? Because people don't take the time to actually listen to each other. And so people grow up on tablets and on flat screens and in their own little bubble, and they have a hard time to actually communicate, to actually connect, to actually express their ideas. Why? Because they feel there's nobody there who cares to listen. It just doesn't matter. It's just... So, oftentimes just giving people the time of the day, which means you actually listen to them. Have you ever had somebody who listened to you unconditionally, without judgment, without giving you solutions, without cutting you off, without being distracted, without checking their watch or their phone, but just being fully there, fully in the zone? Has this ever happened to you? It's rare, right? Yeah. But it's memorable. It stays with you. So, if you can learn how to do that, that's a very, very powerful way how to actually empower that person. And you will also find that sometimes this whole process makes you say things and do things that you didn't know that you had in you. You know, like when we do this satsang. Satsang is called the truthful gathering, or the sincere association. We're not just enacting some script, you know, that some actors come up here and, you know, they pull out a few rabbits and, you know, do a few things, and people pay some money, they buy the t-shirt, and they go home. Satsang means that you're just opening your heart. You're vulnerable. We all stand naked in front of God, in front of divinity. So what do you do when you don't know what to do? Have you ever been in that situation? Has it ever happened to you? Not just at the immigration, you know, counter. Sometimes I travel a lot, you know, you step out of a flight and the guy asks you, where are you coming from? And I'm like, and he's like, step aside, line number 3. And I'm like, oh, no. I just remembered now. Okay, you know. Sometimes you don't know what to do. One time I was in Mumbai, in Dadar station. It's one of the biggest train stations in India. Not as big as Shanghai train station, but it's pretty good for India, yeah. And there was one man who came and he had black coat, black jeans, black boots, black hat, mostly out of leather, and he's carrying a black guitar case. I stopped him. I had long black hair. And I asked him, do you play the guitar? And he said, how'd you know? I said, hello. So he was a heavy metal guitarist from Iran, recording his new album. And I showed him the Bhagavad Gita, and, you know, he was kind of interested. And I asked him for a contribution, because there's a principle that if you give something in return, you can actually enter into the secrets. Like call and response. There's relationships are reciprocal. So, and somehow it didn't register, so I tried from a different way, but he just seemed like he was not really understanding. And I tried from a few angles, it just didn't work. I didn't know what to do. So what do you do when you don't know what to do? Huh? Get out your guitar, exactly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I said, Krishna, now is a good time. give me some clue. Anyway, I just hugged him and said Hare Krishna. And he was a little bit surprised. And and he was just standing there, nothing happened. I said, okay, maybe, let's try again. I gave him another hug and said, Hare Krishna. And I did it 3 times. And after the 3rd time, he said, oh, donation. Okay, yes. So and he took the book. Because I thought, this can be the new George Harrison of Iran. What if this guy reads the Gita, translates into music, and actually affects, millions of people? And the rest is history, right? So everybody can make a difference if we believe in them, if we appreciate them. And you will see that people will transform, they will change right in front of you. So it's not about how much you can give them. Just give them appreciation. Just give them your quality time. And sometimes they may need other things also, depending on your capacity. Any other points? Yes.
I just want to, add, I don't have a question, but I think it's really great what you're saying to appreciate other people, which is, awesome. But also, I think an important thing, too, is to appreciate situations, difficult situations, or any situation for that matter. For me, personally, I think that's harder, to appreciate the seemingly bad things. But anyway, I'm not exactly sure where I'm going with that, but I just kind of wanted to make that point.
No, it's an important point. It's very valid. Thank you. It's easy to feel great when the good times are rolling and everything is on the up and up, and you're like, yeah, we got this, we figured it out. We're the winning team here. We're rocking out. But when things are kind of like, meh, or they're going south, then can I still be singing and dancing? Can I still do my spiritual practice? Or am I just going crazy? What happens when things go bad? You start counting your money. You see how long you're going to last before you vanish, or before you get evicted. What do? Frantically call and send out messages? Or do I see that this is not just a test, but it's also an opportunity for me, a reminder, a wake-up call? Where do I really stand? How deep is my practice? How solid is my faith? Do I really take shelter? Just like a mother, she has different children to take care of. By the intensity of the cry, she knows whether it's actually serious or not. When it's like, meh, then she says, it's okay, it's all right, it's fine. But when it's, not going to shock you. When it's their intensity, even though she may be many rooms away, she'll hear it and she'll come running. So, what is the sense of urgency in my practice? Am I just coasting and am I just going through the motions? Because actually I got it figured out. I'm already perfect. And this is just, something that's part of my perfection. Or do I truly feel there's a need? Just like without appetite, there's no meaning to food. It can make you nauseous. It can make you sick. So without a real need, it's very difficult. So that's why, luckily, we have difficult situations where we will feel that need, that tension. Because without tension, there is no growth. So see it as an opportunity. It's a gift that we all can learn to embrace. Thank you for a reminder. Any other last points? I see the boxes are already on their way here. Yes, right behind you.
This is kind of bouncing off what was just being said, a little bit of a tangent, but when you mentioned how grounded is your practice, it reminded me of a conversation I had with a friend where the topic was people tend to come, people who weren't already having a spiritual practice may come when things are really hitting the fan for them, when their world is super shaky. But, you know, the problem there is, well, that spiritual practice that you're only picking up when things are really shaky, will you notice the potency? Or maybe is it good to start the spiritual practice when things are good? Because then you'll learn to rely on it in good times, and you'll have the relationship and the foundation for when the shaky times come, you know how reliable it is. Does that make sense?
Both are valid, both are good, but usually unless there is some trouble, there's very little impetus for change. Unless you feel like, hey, I need to do something. You know, like my place is a mess. My life is not really going where it should. Like I need to improve. Then we start taking action. When things go good, it's kind of hard to have that drive, that determination. So in either situation, but oftentimes when crisis strikes, people are a little bit more receptive, a little bit more open. There's more of an opening. But there's also pain, and there is also sometimes confusion. So we have to allow that and be aware of that and give each other the space, you know, to go through that. All right. Yes, we got two right behind.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
It
Krishna.
was a wonderful, wonderful talk. And I'm going to ask you a question. I don't know if you're going to be able to answer. When an American goes to Rishikesh or Vrindavan, how do they come back here?
When who goes there?
Anyone, American.
How do they come back here? Well, usually with an airplane.
I mean, all the energy and the light and the Krishna and Rama and chanting 24/7 all the time, and
Yep.
you even imagine coming back.
Yeah, but you know, charity starts at home. Right now, the great country is a bit in turmoil, as you may have noticed, and a few things are a bit shaky. So we need more ambassadors of peace and goodwill. We need more lighthouses who are helping, because ideas still get exported into the galaxy, especially from California. Don't ask me why, but people are still looking here and trying to duplicate whatever is going on right here. So you're in the right place, okay? But it's good to go on pilgrimage and to travel and to study and learn and appreciate. And then you will also be able to see and appreciate more what you got at home and to make it work at home. So we're in the right place. Last time we checked. In the back, Bob, right?
Let's do the last one.
Prabhu, thank you so much. I just wanted to say, a moment ago you hit the nail on the head. You said, you know, I'm already perfect. And all these distractions are just distractions. They're temporary, and everything is really fine. You know, we have the opportunity to associate with the devotees, take shelter of the holy names, and all these things will pass.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you all for showing up. I thought I'd had to eat all that sushi by myself. Now I'm relieved that. And yeah, keep on chanting, keep on rocking out. Krishna has given you a lot of opportunity. You're in a wonderful place. There's a lot of amazing people here. So live the life and spread the mantra, spread the love. Be part of that spiritual evolution and revolution. Yet you can only give what you got. If you don't have it, you can't give it. So use a little quality time every day to invest into yourself, especially in the morning. Try to get up early before the madness starts. Leave the phone switched off and just chant. read a few verses from the Gita, from the yoga texts. And then you'll see how this sound vibration, how this energy will carry you through the day. You can see how long you can last without, getting affected by whatever it is that life throws at you. So thank you very much for your hospitality, for
Nice round of
your
applause.
kind attention. Hare Krishna.
Very grateful.
Enjoy your meal.